What is up, you beautiful people? It's Adam D. If you find this guide useful, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think so you can get in on this Anthem giveaway that I'm doing. Also, if BioWare reverts the loot changes, that I think I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give away an extra copy of Anthem just because I love you guys so much, and as a thank you for helping this channel grow and sharing this content. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share it if it's useful for you. This video is by popular demand. I'm going to be showing my Masterwork Storm builds. I've got two of them that I use regularly so far. First one I'm going to be going through is my my go-to for Grandmaster and above. Okay, this thing destroys. It absolutely destroys. Okay, and the key is Ponder Infinity, which is a Masterwork Lightning Strike. Okay, while you're hovering, it increases electrical damage by 60%. This is key, okay? Because you're going to be ripping shields apart. A lot of people go and they run the Burning Orb with the Ice Blast build, which is fine. I'm going to show you that as well. But I'm telling you, Grandmaster and above, especially Grandmaster 2 and 3, the biggest issue you'll run into is that none of those other abilities work unless you can combo. And why can't you combo? Because the enemies have shields. Storm is the best character in the entire game at getting rid of shields, and it's because of this ability. Okay? Use this ability, and combined with the Focus Seal Chaotic Rhyme, you don't need the legendary version, where after freezing an enemy, you increase left bumper slot damage by 125% for 20 seconds. You're making it so you strip shields with Lightning Blast, then you freeze the enemy with Chaotic Rhyme, which increases your Lightning Blast damage even more, and then it also will combo Chaotic Rhyme and spread your freeze to all the other enemies you just stripped the detonation from. Make sense? This is key. I feel like this is so overlooked by a lot of these other builds. They're not taking into account Grandmaster 2 and 3, okay? You need to rip the shields away, otherwise you will be doing absolutely nothing, I promise you. And I got lucky with my Chaotic Rhyme. It has plus 250% elemental damage and plus weapon damage. But you don't necessarily need that, you just need these two, okay? And you're going to basically be switching back and forth between them. And you might be wondering, oh, Adam, why are you not using Ice Blast? I'm using it on another build, but for this build, for stripping shields, you don't need it because Storm's combo ability, right, is that when you detonate a combo, it spreads the status effect to everything around it. So essentially, even though this ability is single target, it's really a Frost AoE once you rip the shields off of your enemies with Lightning Blast. Makes sense? So you are freezing everything in the vicinity. You're just also able to rip shields off, unlike the other builds. In case you don't know, electricity damage does more damage to shields than anything else, bar none. Okay, fire and acid do the most to armor. Electricity and frost do the most to shields. Okay, frost less so, and fire less so in terms of both of those cases, though. For components, it really doesn't matter which components you're running. I'm telling you. Okay, these are not optimal in any way, shape, or form, but it still performs fantastically in Grandmaster 2 and above. Okay, Vanguard's token basically just increases your survivability. Okay, Shield Break increases damage resistance. Again, you want to be surviving, but you also want to be ripping off shields. Mark of Wrath increases gear damage done. So now your lightning damage is basically at 400%. Okay, and while your right bumper recharges, after you've done freezing something, after ripping its shields off, it's increased by another 50%. Okay, so you can easily rip more shields off. Gunslinger's Mark increases gear recharge rate by 50% and lowers gear damage. This is currently bugged, which is why it's showing 0%. BioWare is going to be hot fixing this again, but this is fantastic for once all the shields are down, because your pistol is going to be doing the brunt of your damage. Okay, pistol is going to be doing brunt of your damage. That's why you kind of settle for having lower gear damage. Okay, Mark of Clarity increases, again, this is more of a survivability option, increases elemental damage resistance. This makes it so you do not get one shot by Ash Titans no matter what you do in terms of their, the orbs that fly at you and burn you. You will not die. I promise you, you will not die. If you have shields and you get hit by one of those, even if the shields are at half, this will make it so you survive. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Tome of Precision, again, it just increases your electro damage. The Masterwork effect is pretty garbage because sniper rifles, quite frankly, suck in comparison to using the Avenging Pistol. They're just not that great. Okay, too many conditions need to be met for that to be useful, but this just increases electro damage, so I'm using it. Token of Daring, this kind of goes against what I was saying before about my gun, but again, you really want to be breaking shields, so that's the main goal of this build. Break the shields. I would like to replace this with Token of the Pupil so that I don't have the negative physical damage, but I haven't gotten it yet because BioWare likes to mess around with loot drops. But again, you don't need to have a super optimal build in order to be able to run this, guys. I'm telling you. Just continue to use the certain abilities that I'm telling you, okay? Support Seal. Always use Quickening Field. Wind Wall absolutely sucks endgame. You can sneeze on it and it will go away. It's not worth it. Whereas Quickening Field, it makes it so this Chaotic Rhyme actually has 0 cooldown. Like, you can hold it down forever. And sometimes it bugs out and makes it so you literally can hold the button down, go AFK, and you come back and it will still be firing. It's pretty broken, I'm telling you. Just believe me. Avenging Herald. This thing is the best gun in the entire game, period. Okay? Best gun in the entire game. Hovering increases weapon damage by 200%. If you get a crappy version of this, keep using it and then use it for X amount of legendary missions and craft a better one, okay, like I did. You want this to have as much weapon damage as you possibly can on it. You'll be hitting 25,000 to 30,000 crits with this, I promise you. Plus, with the Gunslinger's mark, this thing is a destroyer of everything, okay? Your secondary weapon does not matter. I'm using Radiant Fortress because in case you get into trouble, just switching to the shotgun and pumping one shot into something so that you can survive is very helpful, but I rarely switch to it. Avenging Herald, you're going to be up in the air all the time as a Storm, all the time. Make sure you get this gun. If you don't have it, farm it on easy, normal, or hard because it's one of the 6 masterworks that can drop at those difficulties. So just farm on easy and you will eventually get this weapon. Overall, this build is disgusting, guys. Again, the goal is to rip the shields off of your enemies in Grandmaster 1, Grandmaster 2, okay? Rip the shields off and then freeze them and then rip the shields off of everything else and then freeze them and then rip the shields off of everything else. It's single target, but it's also AoE. It's fantastic, okay? It will do better at shield ripping off than any of these other builds that you're going to see. I promise you. But it also has the CC utility that you desperately want in an end game build. Now we're going to check out some gameplay of this build in action. You're going to see gonna freeze everybody, drop the lightning on them, and they instantly die. I mean, it's really that simple. Your pistol can help you clear out some of the shields, but for the most part, you know, you're just gonna be wanting to combo, get some frost on people, and use that to increase the damage of your lightning further. Obviously, Avenging Herald is a god tier pistol, so I'm using it to clear up some of the harder enemies. But overall, this build, notice how I rip the shields right off of them. Teammates can follow up even though they don't. And I mean, it just cleans house, guys. It really does. The amount of damage you get out of this for no cost is just incredible. So I drop frost on that guy, but it freezes other people around him, like it frost AoE because of Storm's combo effect. So it's like you're getting the best of both worlds, really. Right? And you just keep rinsing and repeating that. You see the buffs on the side of my screen. It's the same stuff over and over again. Rinse and repeat. And I mean, these guys are kind of, you know, trash mobs, but it's really all the same. You just keep doing that. And in Grandmaster 2 and 3, you do the exact same thing. You just rip the shields off of everything so that your teammates can go and also use their abilities. See, these guys, they all have shields. Now their shields are done. It literally kills them through the shields, guys. I mean, that's insane. Straight insanity. And then on Grandmaster 3, I mean, it rips through the shields all the same, and then your teammates can follow up in combo, because obviously you're not going to one-shot things on Grandmaster 3. It's just not going to happen. But everything else, it's like, I mean, look at how easy that is. It only takes a few hits in order to freeze something, and they instantly go down. It's a fantastic Fantastic build. Let me see if I can get this bug to trigger. Basically, this frost beam that you're dropping, it has a low cooldown to begin with, but the part on the component doesn't say anything about how long it has to be on cooldown for. As long as you trigger a cooldown, then you get the buff to the left bumper damage, which is obviously, you know, what you want when you're tearing shields apart. And it also is just a combo machine because you're constantly dropping shields. Doesn't matter what level the enemies are or how much shields they have, you're always going to be able to get these combos off, and the electricity damage is just it's insane. The base damage for a lot of electro abilities is incredibly powerful, so you're able to just continuously get your ultimate, you're able to continuously combo. I mean, look at how much of my ultimate is charged every time I use this, detonate this ability. I mean, it's insane. And then if you got guys with a lot of armor, you just pop them twice with the pistol. It's that simple. It really is. Even on armored enemies where electricity doesn't have the same damage amplification as it does on shields, it's still a powerhouse because of how much damage you're actually front loading into this thing. So now you see I've got the bug triggered, where you're just constantly firing a volley of this, and now it's gone. But you can also manually trigger this by popping your cooldown bubble, and you can just go around like Mr. Freeze style, freeze anything you want. There's an elite gunner in the back there. I'm going to strip his shields, instantly kill him. I mean, it's that simple. Especially with like snipers and stuff like that. They're just going to one-shot you on Grandmaster 2, Grandmaster 3. This is the build, guys. I'm telling you, it's something else. I really enjoy the Burning Orb and Ice Blast build because they're both fantastic abilities as well. But you have to make certain concessions when you're going up in difficulty, as most people are going to start to do. And one of those concessions is that you need to have a build that benefits your team as well as yourself. And this build accomplishes that fantastically. The shotgun, again, not needed. Really want this Avenging Herald. This Avenging Herald, I very, very, very rarely switch it off. It's just too good. It's too good not to. So, stay tuned for more Anthem guides. I'm going to be posting more guides for the Storm. I have another build. I just decided to split it up into 2 videos. I've got my Interceptor build, my Ranger build. I'm also going to do a pros and cons of all the classes, which ones you should pick, and maybe a little video of the Colossus. But I don't really play Colossus that much, even though he's fantastic. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you like this, share with your friends. Let me know what you think of the build. What kind of builds are you guys running? I'm always down to experiment and make videos off of those builds as well. So just hit me up, let me know, and make sure you subscribe and share this with your buddies on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, so that we can grow this army, and I can do more dope giveaways. Again, if BioWare goes and makes the loot chain, I'm gonna release another copy of Anthem. I'm gonna give away an extra copy. Right now we got 2 going. I mean, right now we got 1 going. We're gonna have a second one. So thank you guys. Have a good night. Adam D. out.